Now next heading is solutions to the problem of non-performing assets. Solutions to the problem of non-performing asset. Before starting this topic, we'll discuss the steps taken by a government in the recent past means in last 3 decades. So with the establishment of ARC, after the reforms, there was one act known as Sikh Industrial Companies Act. Then after that we have one important board known as Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. After that we are replacing BIFR with NCLT. That is, recently you find this body in newspaper, National Company Law Tribunal. Are you reading newspapers? There is a problem of currency depreciation. Please do follow this important news, because whenever you will find a news that is sustainable for around 10 to 15 days regularly, there is a high possibility of that question will be the part of your preliminary examination. Because whenever we'll discuss about preliminary paper, we'll discuss preliminary paper for maybe it will take 1 hour. So whenever you will have time, we'll discuss that paper. And I'll tell you every proof and every evidences that this paper or that economic section of that paper belongs to only newspaper. Only and only newspaper. You can crack all the economics related question with the help of newspaper. That is the Hindu. Okay. I'll give you evidences, I'll give you proof. Okay. So these are the important. So first understand, this is Sikh Industrial Companies Act. It was formulated in the 80s just to provide some kind of solution to the Sikh industries. Now what is the meaning of Sikh industries? Any idea? What's the meaning of Sikh industry? What? They're not performing well. It means they are not earning profit. They need frequent bailout. You understand the word bailout? There's one term known as bailout. Whenever you are struggling with the problem of losses, then some outside party will give you extra fund. Like for example, the recent example of bailout is simple, Air India. Because government of India is giving 3,000 crore rupees every year to Air India. I was reading some article when I was doing my research. I found that if government of India sells Air India for free, then also government of India can earn profit. Are you getting my point? How? Because government of India can save 3,000 crore rupees annually. So it means why we are running this public sector civil aviation industry, when we have other competitors, like very efficient competitors that provide cheap flight journey. So government should take off their hand as soon as possible. So bailout means giving extra fund just to cover the loss of that particular company. Recent example is Air India. Getting my point? So bailout, it means whenever your industries is struggling with the problem of huge losses. According to experts, there are huge losses from the management side as well as from the market side. Management side means wrong decisions regarding production, and from market side means due to less demand of your product, whatever you are producing. Because when we see the example of Air India, the market share of Air India has been declining. And now the market share of Air India is just 14%. So 14% of domestic market is accessible by Air India. So 14% is quite less. Getting on point. So Sikh Industrial Companies Act, under that, if this is the act that is helpful in finding Sikh industries, then there is a board known as Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. That board gives certain advices, certain facilities to recover from that sickness. And this BIFR takes around 5 to 7 years in resolving the problem of sickness So if an industry is approaching around 1997, it means there is a resolution around 2003 to 2004. So there is a huge time. So by replacing this was the genesis of solution to NPA. Then we found ARC, Asset Reconstruction Company. Asset Reconstruction Company. So these ARC, currently we have 16 ARCs working in India. The first ARC established in the year 1993, known as ARCIL, Asset Reconstruction Company of India Limited. What's the role of these ARCs? Because these BFIR and SICA working from company side, and these ARCs are working from bank side. Getting my point? Because we have a concept of twin balance sheet. You remember the concept? TBS, you will find in newspaper. Twin balance sheet problem. It means there is a problem of stressed balance sheet on both sides, banks as well as companies. Getting my point? Why companies? Because of the low demand and change in the demand pattern, and due to that onslaught of global economic crises. What is the problem? Companies are unable to repay their loan. Whenever banks are not receiving loans from that company, it means banks will also experience some kind of mismatch. So both balance sheets are under stressed. So this is known as twin balance sheet problem. This was concept given in the economic survey. Now these two particular body work from company side, and these ARC works from bank side. These ARC will discuss after few minutes. First about this one. So we'll write few points regarding this. The solution to the problem of NPAs. The solution to the problem of NPAs can be traced back with the establishment of Sikh Industrial Companies Act, with the establishment of Sikh Industrial Companies Act and Sikh Industries Companies Act and BIFR, that is Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. That is Board for Industrial and Financial Reconstruction. These are the bodies helpful in reviving the Sikh industries. These bodies are helpful in reviving the Sikh industries to solve the problem of NPA. To solve the problem of NPAs from demand side. To solve the problems of NPA from demand side. From the demand side. Full stop. Next paragraph. After economic reforms of 1991, Narsimham Committee gave a recommendation. Narsimham Committee gave recommendation for the establishment of ARCs. In bracket you write Asset Reconstruction Companies. Asset Reconstruction Companies. Asset Reconstruction Company, close the bracket, to solve the problem of bad debts. To solve the problem of bad debts. First stop. The first ARC established in the year 1993 the first ARC was established in the year 1993, was known as Asset Reconstruction Company of India Limited. Asset Reconstruction Company of India Limited. Full stop. Currently means 2018. 16 ARCs are working. Currently 16 ARCs are working with the motive of resolving NPAs in India. NPAs in India. Any doubt regarding this? Next paragraph. With the help of BIFR, the problem solved in and around 5 to 7 years. The problem solved in and about 5 to 7 years. But with the establishment of NCLT, the establishment of NCLT, the process expedited to just 180 days. 180 days. Any doubt? Are you getting everything? ठीक है?
So, how are we able to show this network? I mean, if I'm saying it's like 180 days. So, was the system was so inefficient?
Actually, we were not able to trace the actual problem. We were thinking about that the problem is from bank side. We are thinking about cost benefit analysis, we are thinking about project evaluation, etc. But we were not thinking about the stalled projects that companies are struggling with, because stalled projects are the result of stuck of resources. Whenever you will have stalled projects, your labor got stuck, capital got stuck, as well as that land area is not of any use. आपने देखा होगा ना, whenever court seals some property, is of no use. So that is why the problem is. Now expediting the particular cases, disposing of cases in just 180 days, because this is mandatory under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So it is the obligation on the government side, on the tribunal side, that we have to dispose cases in just 180 days. So we have larger branches, wider branches as well as. Getting my point? Any doubt? You will find frequently the term stressed assets. This is frequently you will find stressed assets. Stressed assets means NPA plus restructured loans. Now what do you understand by restructured loans? Whenever you will find that there may be a problem of NPA, it means if you identify some assets that may become non-performing in few years, then a bank can restructure that loan. Like for example, restructuring loan means suppose the EMI on a particular loan is 10,000 rupees and this loan is for the time period of 5 years. If you think that this EMI, that is 10,000 per month, is too high for a particular individual or for a company to repay, so you will restructure this amount of EMI to 5,000 and you will increase the time period to 5 years, as 10 years, from 5 years to 10 years. This is known as the restructuring of loans. whenever you will restructure the loans, it means there is a large possibility that the loan will come back and less possibility of that asset will become non-performing. Getting my point? So around 13.6 lakh crore of stressed assets we have in our Indian banking system. Around 9.6 lakh crores is of NPA. And the remaining, that is 4 lakh crore, is your stressed assets. Restructured loans. So whenever you talk about stressed assets, the figure of NPA plus the figure of restructured loans. So this is also one of the solution to save your asset that not become non-performing. So we write second point. Another solution to the problem of NPA, another solution to the problem of NPA is to restructure the loan, so that borrowers will able to pay, the full amount of principal plus interest, Now in the next line you write what is restructured loans. Restructured loans refers to the relaxation given in the amount of EMI as well as in the time period of the loan, This is known as restructuring of loans. You write this formula. Have you written this? Right. So stressed asset is a bigger term in comparison to non-performing assets.
Actually, this restructuring is done by ARCs.
ARCs by banks also. ARC is just for recovering of bad debts. We'll discuss what ARCs are doing. We'll discuss. The topic of ARC has not finished. We'll discuss. Now what happened? There's one act known as SARFAESI Act of 2002. Before that, now just understand very carefully, before SARFAESI Act, there was no power vested in the hands of bank employees to recover a property that turns out to be a bad asset. If a property becomes non-performing, it means obviously if you are taking some loan, you have to provide some kind of collateral. Some kind of collateral means you have to pledge some security. Pledged assets, what we are referring. It means if you are suppose taking a particular loan, house loan, etc., you have to provide property papers. So on the same lines, companies do also provide some kind of security. That is known as pledged assets. So before SARFAESI Act 2002, banks were unable to interfere in the recovery of loans. If a loan becomes non-performing, then banks cannot go to that particular place and recover the loans. Before SARFAESI Acts, if banks were interested in doing the same thing, banks were able to access some kind of permission from the civil courts. So after the passing of SARFAESI Act, there is a time, it means according to SARFAESI Act, now banks can able to access that particular pledge security given by a defaulter company. Getting my point? Any doubt? Shall I explain again? Before that, what happened? You remember our discussion of ARCs? 1993. What about ARCs? ARCs are doing simple recovery. It means they are recovering bad debts of a particular bank. Suppose I am a bank, I can sell my bad assets. It means non-performing assets to a particular ARC. These ARCs are privately owned. These ARCs are privately owned. So I can sell, suppose I am State Bank of India, I am selling my non-performing assets to these ARCs. Suppose I am incurring 100 crore of loss on a particular asset. Then this ARC will buy this 100 crore of non-performing asset. It means me as a bank, I will receive 100 crore. So that particular bad asset does not belongs to me right now. And I can enter this 100 crore in my bank's balance sheet. Remember in the last class we had discussed about bank's balance sheet. So these 100 crores I can receive in my balance sheet. So I can simply say that my non-performing asset, the ratio of my non-performing asset has declining. Now what is the role of this ARC? It's simple. This ARC buy these assets on discount. This ARC will buy these bad debts, bad assets on discount. General discount rate was around 24% to 37%. This is general trend. Do you understand discount? Discount here simple means if there is a loss of 100 crore, they are only recover around, if this is 24, it means 76% to 63%. This is the amount of a recovery is guaranteed by ARC to a particular bank. Suppose this is a bank known as SBI. Any doubt till this point? If SBI is incurring 100 crore loss and selling its bad debts to a particular ARC that is privately owned, then this ARC will buy this 100 crore of non-performing assets on discount, popularly 64% to 37%. If we say in the percentage terms, so they are only able to recover 76 crore to 63 crores. Other is a loss. So if something, it is better to recover something, then you will incurring full 100 crore of loss. Because these ARCs are privately owned, so there is also a share of these ARCs. Getting my point? This was the concept behind recovering of loans. You will find one term in newspaper, haircut. If you are reading newspaper for last 2-3 months, you will find this haircut term. So haircut means simple. Whenever you incur a loss of 100 crores and you are able to recover only 60 crore, then there is a loss of 40 crore, and that loss of 40 crore is known as banks had to take that haircut of 40%. Getting my point? So 40% they are unable to recover. Suppose in our example, ARC is able to provide 37% on discount. It means banks will get only 63 crore. So 37 crore is the haircut. Any doubt? This is a term given, simple, nothing.
So, why banks are not able to get some money?
Recover. Because there is need of some expertise in recovering loans and providing loans. You cannot imagine, you cannot expect that a probationary officer will go to the recovery position and will recover the loans. It is very, very difficult to recover loans. So we need specialized agencies like ARC. They have certain kind of individuals. Do you understand my point? They are bouncers like people. Simple. They will give warning, they will give certain kind of threat to the particular individual. So they are expertise. They have expertise, they are expert in recovery of loan. Banks employees cannot do. If you see the probationary officer, you cannot think of that he or she will go to the particular recovery position and recover the asset. It is not possible because it requires different kind of expertise. That is why ARC is concept of ARC. Take any doubt regarding this? Shall we write something? Yes. These ARCs are privately owned. These ARCs are privately owned companies. These ARCs are privately owned companies having expertise in a recovery of loans, having expertise in a recovery of loans that a bank cannot, full stop. Before 2002, if a bank wants to recover loans, then it has to take permission from civil courts. In bracket you write, generally it is very difficult to get permission. ठीक है, first stop. So now you write, after the concept of ARCs, banks can sell their bad assets to these ARCs at discount. Generally 24 to 37%. Generally 24 to 37%. First off, for example, if a bank incurs a loss of 100 crore, then banks will only get 76 crore to 63 crore. Banks will only get 76 crore to 63 crore from ARCs. On the next line, write the definition of haircut. The term refers to the amount of NPA, amount of bad asset, you write. The term refers to the amount of bad asset that a bank cannot receive from ARCs. ठीक है, any doubt regarding this discussion? I hope it is clear in your mind. ठीक है. Then we write the next one is SARFAESI Act. Do you know the full form of SARFAESI Act? Can anyone? Yes, you write. Securitization and asset reconstruction. Of financial assets enforcement securities interest act 2002. I met one of the IRS officer. Currently, he was around 58 years old. He was the part of SURFACE Act. Recently, I met. So I found I was discussing some important points regarding this SURFACE Act. That what was the concept behind SURFACE Act, why we wanted this SURFACE Act. The main point he told me that is the only thing to give power to the banks in order to recover loans from the market. It means after the enactment of SURFACE Act, now there is no need to take permission from the civil courts. Now banks can go to the market and recover the loans. So we'll write in line. After the enactment of this act, banks can now go and recover their bad assets. Banks can now go and recover their bad assets with the help of a pledged security, securities provided by the borrowers. Now, you write in the next line. Now banks no more require to take permissions from civil courts. Now it means there is no requirement of taking permission from the civil courts. You remember our discussion of planning, growth and development. In 1991, what happened when we introduced our first generation reforms in industrial sector? Because this problem relates to industries as well. So we can connect here with industry. In 1991, India gave certain kind of liberalization policy that provided right to free entry. It means you can enter freely in the Indian market. In 2002, with the enactment of Competition Act and the establishment of Competition Commission of India, and in 2009, when we implemented the Competition Act, we gave the power. It means government gave the right to compete. So from right to entry, right to free entry to do business in our country, in 2009, companies got the right to compete. But there is a problem of right to exit. So with the enactment of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, Government of India gave right to exit from the Indian market. There was a concept known as Chakravyuh Challenge. And that Chakravyuh Challenge is popularly known for there is a difficulty in right to exit by industry. It means very easy to enter in the market, but first point is how to exit from Indian market. This is the simple rule of doing business. First you think about how can you exit from this market. Entry is always easy, but it's all about exit. So now Indian market is very perfect. So we can say that in future, we can solve the problem of these kind of bankruptcy problem, NPA problems. So gradually it will take some time, around 10 years, 15 years, because we are in 2018 and the genesis can be traced back to 2003. It means the problem has been from last 15 years. Getting my point? So it will take some time. Now you write the next point. What is the solution? The early detection of NPAs, is an important factor. The early detection of NPA is the important factor in solving the problem of NPA. In solving the problem of NPA, early detection of in solving the problem of NPA. Okay? So it means whenever you will find there must be some midterm review of a project. If you are providing loan for a particular project, you should provide or you should do some midterm review project. So it means whenever you will find that this project may go wrong, then you can stop funding that particular project. Or you will give some expertise that you should do this, you should do that in order to revive the particular project. So early detection of NPA is the most important thing, because you can see the data, 2.3 lakh crore of cost overrun. If you detected the problem early, maybe in 2009, 2010, 2015, 2013, the cost overrun maybe we can expect a lower figure. And this will go on increasing. 2.3 is the current situation. I don't know about the 2 years, 3 years down the line, what will happen. Getting my point? So early detection of NPA, early detection of a non-performing asset is the most important thing in solving the problem of NPA. Next one you write, most important. India should have a vibrant corporate bond market. India should have a vibrant corporate bond market. A vibrant corporate bond market. Full stop. It will give the companies an extra opportunities. It will give companies an extra opportunities. It will give companies an extra opportunities regarding raising its resources, other than borrowing from banks. Sorry, getting my point? It means if we have a vibrant corporate bond market means simple, a strong, robust corporate bond market. It means corporate bonds are not enough in our country. So if corporates are throwing up or floating the bonds and people will buy that bond, then there is an obligation on the company side, on the corporate side, that they have to repay to the particular bond holders from time to time. So they will work on efficiency. Getting my point? If we consider, like for example, if we consider corporate bond market in Western economies like United States and Western European countries, they do not borrow from banking sector. Banking sector are there only to provide working capital. Getting my point? So only to provide working capital. And if you want to fund a big project, you have to float a bond. You understand? If you remember the recent example of government bond, when government introduced National Highway Authority of India bond just to build the road projects. So National Highway Authority of India bond is the best example of government bond. But people are trusting only government bonds. So we should have vibrant corporate bond market so that people can trust on the corporate bonds as well. And the corporates can borrow money from this bond market despite having the huge amount of, we can say, loans taken from banking industries. So we have another kind of option. After first step, you write, if we follow the Western pattern, of corporate bond market, that will become a fruitful option for Indian industries. That will become a fruitful option for Indian industry to borrow money from the public, because in US and Western European countries, industries are borrowing and preferring corporate bonds. Industries are preferring and borrowing from corporate bonds. ठीक है, अंडरस्टैंड?